Hi there, Lehi High students. One of my favorite jobs as an assistant principal here at Lehi High School is that I get to see and observe all the awesome things you guys do here at the school. Whether that's in the theater, whether that's in music, sports, whatever it might be, I get to observe the successes and joys that you feel when you do a great job. One thing people don't know about me is that I love to look at art, and I love to stroll into museums when I see them, look around, kind of maybe interpret things how I see them. So I love the art show when students get to display their art and I get to walk around and see their talents and kind of see maybe how they're feeling or the emotions that they express through their artwork. I ran across an article in the New York Times that posed a question to students from all around the world. It was in 2022 and we were just coming out of the pandemic. And the question was, what can you show us that might help explain what it's like to be a teenager right now? Nearly 3,000 students responded to that question with their artwork. I want to show you a few of their responses and perhaps describe them, describe the pieces and how these students who are your age viewed themselves and viewed what it was like to be a teenager. I want you to reflect on maybe how you would view your own life, or if this is something that you can identify with. The first piece is entitled Class of 22. I used everything I could find: watercolor, acrylics, marker, and pencil. The piece didn't need to be perfect because that was the point. I feel that we all put up a face when a camera is around. We try to look at these people and think that they're perfect, but there is so much more beyond our smiles. The happy, joyful person may be sad and lonely all day. The angry person may just be upset and need a hug. No one is perfect. You asked, what can I show us that might help explain what it's like to be a teenager in this moment? This is it. All of us pretending to be perfect for the camera, always smiling in front of the crowd and left crying alone. The second piece is We Are Watching. The very first Gen Z member of Congress was just elected. Our time is coming and we have been paying attention. My generation isn't at all apathetic or uninformed. Even though many of my peers get their information from less reliable sources, they are aware that something is going on. And of course, many of us are activists in our own right. In my digital drawing, I wanted to play with the imagery of a crowd filming something, because for my peers, that's the thing we do a lot. Something's happening, anything, pull out a phone. It also happens at concerts or other live entertainment. During the pandemic, teenagers realized that for the first time, politics have an impact on our lives. Even though our voices are not always heard, we are always watching. The next piece is called Consumption. My life was perfect. I was a part of a great friend group. The stress of academics hadn't yet caught up to me. I loved the sport I did, and I enjoyed every second I spent at school. But now this life was only a lingering memory. I drowned in a spiral of untouched meals, hours staring blankly at my dim laptop screen, and the overwhelming feeling of being consumed by emptiness the whole of my previous life had left behind. What made it even worse was that I had to enter a new school. The thought of being thrown into a completely new environment filled with strangers loomed eerily on the horizon as I tried to fill the vast void in my mind through devouring an unhealthy, excessive amount of digital media. Confined to my mental and physical prison, all I could do was consume. I consumed it all. Everything from YouTube to instant noodles. I monotonously consumed with blank eyes. The next piece is called Collective. Teenagers in my community crave connections with others. Piecing together our identities in conjunction with each other, we learn how to be social while recovering from a year of social drought. Bonfire by bonfire, teens in our area sought each other out for comfort and companionship. In this painting, a group of teenagers at an evening bonfire convey a sense of reliance on the event itself to bring them together. It is a moment of teenage glory, but also one of vulnerability and codependency. The last piece I want to show you is actually from one of my students that she was at my school 2 years ago. And funny enough, her painting was in 2022, and it kind of summed up how she felt as a teenager at the time. So this piece is called Out of Darkness, and you can see that the painting is darker over here, and the woman, or the young girl, is facing the light and going toward the light. At our school at the time, we had some pretty significant things happen with students that attended our school, which were extremely sad. We also were like you coming out of the pandemic. And so this was her description of, you know, things are getting better. We're coming out of darkness and things are gonna be okay. Hopefully you can understand that we know that being a teenager is hard. There are so many people here at school that care and are available for you, to help you, to guide you, to just listen. Also, shout out to Mr. Brantley. You guys, his birthday is Saturday, so make sure when you see him in the halls, you wish him a happy birthday.